All right, so we got some migrants that were burned, beaten, and even raped by the cartel. Let's tune into the video and see what's going on out here in these streets.
Vile and horrific is how authorities are describing the crimes committed inside of a Mexican cartel stash house where 13 Central American migrants had to be rescued. Those migrants burned, beaten, tortured, sexually assaulted, even forced to drink water from the toilet, some allegedly murdered. And News Nation border correspondent Jorge Ventura joining us live from San Antonio, uncovering some of these disturbing details. Jorge.
Yeah, Natasha, these are just some brutal details that we are getting in. This comes as human smuggling continues to be rampant on the southern border. Migrants still making their way to the U.S. looking for a better life are now enduring brutal torture. Like these migrants here who were actually rescued from a stash house in Juarez, Mexico. Border Patrol agents encountered two migrants back on June 8th in New Mexico. The migrants told the agents they were severely beaten and burned and were only released from the house of horrors after their families paid a ransom. After locating the house, Homeland Security investigations teamed up with Mexican authorities to free the 13 migrants who are from Honduras and Guatemala. The migrants were subject to brutal treatment, discovering to have burns, broken ribs, and some of the women had been sexually assaulted. The migrants.
Dang, 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 dang. No wonder why they trying to get out of Mexico too. No wonder why. Cartel doing people dirty over there. People on TikTok following these cartel people trying to get them in here to the United States. Next thing you know, they out there having to pay a ransom. Dumb. Very, very dumb. And that's unfortunate. I know you guys trying to migrate. Y'all trying to be out. Y'all trying to do what y'all got to do to survive, to feed y'all family. But y'all are going about it such a bad way. Such a bad way. Why would you try to get help from smugglers? From illegal drug smugglers at that? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? I mean, there's so much other ways to go about it. Catching a plane, taking a bus, all this going to the border, getting arrested, getting detained, filling in paperwork, possibly getting released. So much other ways you could go about it. But instead you decide to go through the cartel, the most dangerous gang in Mexico. I mean, what did people think was going to happen for real?
Were also poorly fed and were forced to drink water from the toilet. Additionally, authorities believe that the captors may have murdered two additional migrants at the stash house. A search for those bodies is currently underway. 6 Mexican nationals were arrested, 4 men and 2 women. They're now facing several charges, including kidnapping and sexual assault. Shocking smuggling incidents like this are becoming more common. Just days ago in Terrell County, Texas, authorities busted a smuggling operation involving an MS-13 gang member living illegally in Houston, Texas. The county sheriff says it's a trend that's becoming more common across the southern border. Illegal immigrants who owe the cartels money but can't legally work are now smuggling for them. The man was on his way to pick up a group of illegal immigrants but was arrested before he met with the migrants. And in Webb County, Texas, another smuggler recently led officers on a high-speed chase. The smuggler drove on the wrong side of the road before eventually abandoning the vehicle, attempting to run. The smuggler, a resident of Laredo, Texas, was caught, arrested, and charged with smuggling of persons and evading arrest. News Nation has learned that this vehicle continues.
Hey yo. Hey yo. I mean, seriously, like, this is what people is doing out here in these streets. Y'all got nothing better to do. I don't get it. I don't get it. Why y'all doing all of this? Why y'all going through all of this? For what? For what? It does not make sense. This is wild. This is honestly, it's wild behavior that's happening. And I really don't see why people would sign up to do this stuff. I don't get it. But maybe it's just me, man. Maybe it's just me.
Four illegal immigrants that were referred to U.S. Border Patrol agents. This is coming at a time where we've continued to report here, Natasha, that criminal enterprises shifting their focus more on human smuggling and abandoning trafficking drugs into the U.S.
Incredibly concerning. Jorge Ventura live for us from San Antonio with that. Thank you. I want to bring in Robert Almonte on this, former U.S. Marshal and retired Deputy Chief of the El Paso Police Department. Robert, it is good to see you again. These details are really concerning. We're learning about this rescue from the Cartel stash house that Jorge Ventura was talking about. The migrants being held there from Central America, beaten, burned, broken ribs, tortured by the cartel. I want to ask you, because this happened in Mexico and not the U.S., are you concerned about the network involved not being brought to justice?
Yeah, I am very concerned. But here's the bad news, Natasha, is that this case is not new. This is something that occurs very, very often, and not only in Mexico, but there's been cases like that where these migrants have been tortured at stash houses here in the United States, and I discussed those during my training. But this is very alarming, and my hat goes off to the great work and teamwork between HSI and the Mexican authorities, because although it looked like two, maybe possibly dead, they did in fact save several lives here. So this is very alarming, and unfortunately, we're going to see more of this, not only in Mexico on that side of the border, but on our side of the border. We're already seeing that.
And the two migrants who initially told Border Patrol about the stash house said that the only reason they escaped was because the cartel extorted their families for even more money. Can you tell us more about how migrants end up in a situation like this and what it says about the desperation to get into this country?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's really standard operating procedure for the Mexican cartel and the gang working with the cartel. And my thoughts are, in this particular case, probably going to be involve either the Sinaloa cartel or the Juarez cartel or the gang working for those cartels. But what happens, these migrants, they pay several $1,000s up front to the cartel to be smuggled into the United States. So they're willingly paying this money to be smuggled. Well, very often.
Did they just say 10,000 just to get smuggled in? It can't be that. It can't be that expensive.
Paying this money to be smuggled.
It can't be
smuggled into the United States. So they're willingly paying.
Hold on. Let's go back
for those cartel. But what happens? These migrants, they pay several $1,000s up front to the cartel to be smuggled into the United States.
Okay, several $1,000s, right? Several thousand. Now, here's the thing, right? I know you have to go through it certain ways, because say you can't get a plane ticket from Venezuela to the United States because you need a visa or whatever the case may be, right? Okay, you can't just fly in. Go to the nearest border, which they're doing, Mexico. But why go through a gang? Why don't you just drive or get dropped off and go to the Border Patrol anyways? That's where y'all are going anyways. I'm not sure, like, why go through the gang, the biggest gang, and not expect to get extorted. Like, that doesn't make any sense. They're a gang for a reason. They're here to rob you. They're here to kill you. They're here to make you feel bad. They're here to destroy you.
So they're willingly paying this money to be smuggled. Well, very often they're kept at stash houses on the Mexican side of the border, and then they come across the border and they're kept at stash houses here. So what happens is that exactly what happened in Juarez, at that particular house and the stash houses in the United States on this side of the border, is that the caretakers there, well, they want to make more money. So then, since they have control of these migrants, they take advantage of that situation. And they tell them, look, you need to call your relative, send us some money, or we're going to torture you, we're going to kill you. And that's exactly what they do.
Thank you for.
After they done already paid. After they done already paid to get smuggled over. Y'all gotta be kidding me, man. Y'all gotta be kidding me. Let me know y'all thoughts about that down in the comments below. Make sure you guys leave a like on the video. Hit that subscribe button if you're new. It's your boy Dgotsauce, man. Until next time, peace.